a really odd one, actually. I was talking to the Quackalope the other day about it, actually, and we were exploring the origins of Ratcatcher. And it's a bit of an unusual one because it started as a kids' game in which you would play as little kids hunting rats like whack-a-mole almost with little hammers. You just go around whacking all the rats and having a bit of fun, counting up some points with depending on which rats you catch, and that's what it was going to be. And yeah, a little bit different now, and it's far more dark, gothic sort of.
Your character's smacking anything. You're not actually wielding any hammers, but there are some that have the hammers to be able to wield for you in the game, right, as the characters?
Yeah.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about what you've got going with this design. I mean, it's a solo game, right? Solo only?
Yeah, pure solo. At the moment, I've just started some design and development, which I've been talking to the backers about, of doing a co-op adventure as the next sort of chapter in the universe. But that's a long way off. I've only just sort of started to crack how to introduce multiple players.
Right, flipping
because it's such a solo design game.
People usually want you to take the competitive game and turn it into something you could solo. You started solo and you're turning it around to make it into a more cooperative thing.
Yeah.
DJ, welcome back to your own
It's actually pretty.
I'm sitting there talking and going on, and I can't see you guys. I'm like, well, I'm just going to cancel this show. So I went to Facebook, and you were doing a great job interviewing. I said, you know what? I'm going to sit back. The only reason I jumped back in is because Steve said, "Well, we can't do any pictures." All right, so take it away, Steve. I don't want to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, we'll keep going. Right. You was just starting to talk to us about the design of this as a co-op game, and thinking about maybe starting it with solo, but maybe thinking of going in the direction of co-op.
So far, the latest breakthrough I've had with getting the turn sequencing done has definitely allowed co-op to be an option.
Interesting.
It's going to be a little bit different. I haven't found any other games as an example, and it's something I'm definitely looking for at the moment to try and really get a leg up on the idea. But yeah, solo to multiplayer has been a real difficulty compared to what, as you said, most usually it's multiplayer down, which I think is a little bit easier. You just start filling in players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell everybody about the Game Crafter. I saw that you won the Game Crafter solo contest. How did you get involved in that?
We were one of the finalists. We didn't actually win that one. I'm trying to think who won that one.
It looks like you were a finalist. Is that right?
Yeah, it was a really good comp. Everyone really had fun. I still keep in touch with a few of the other designers in the competition, actually. It was really good. Motivation to turn the Ratcatcher from an idea and a few sketches in a book into a actual playable game. It was all done in about 60 days, the original game, with all the artwork I did for it, all the graphic design, everything.
Really?
It pumped out really quickly, and that was about 2 years ago now, maybe even a bit further along. It's amazing to see how far it's come. We were showing off pictures in the Platypus Discord the other day of some of the really early prototypes, and is she an ugly baby, that one.
So wait, I didn't pick that up. Did you do the artwork yourself?
Yep.
Holy cow, Steve, I had no idea. I knew you did the graphic design because that's one of the things that you do. Wow, you did everything on this game.
Everything. 3D work, video work.
In 60
everything.
days.
This one wasn't. This is the version 2 artwork and everything. So, yeah, it's had a lot more time development process, thankfully. But, yeah, I can still see a lot of the core ideas coming through, like Miss Black, the lady with the top hat.
Yes.
She hasn't changed too much since the original versions of her. The Rat King hasn't changed too much. But some of the other characters have definitely.
And you guys may have already talked about this, but what's the elevator pitch for the game? If you were trying to sell the chat crew on why they should check out the project tonight, what's the pitch?
So the Ratcatcher makes you the unlikely hero of the day with the Kingdom of Bree being infested with rats. This is due to the Kingdom inventing a magical cheese, which does everything. It's a wonderful product. But yeah, sadly, its key selling point is to rats.
We could use it right now, Matthew. If you could get that far right now, we could use some.
In some of the lore that's going to come out in the future expansions, we're going to talk about some of the wonderful things that it does. It's the only cheese in the kingdom that is able to be eaten by people who are lactose intolerant. So it's a wonderful cheese.
Wow. And how long does it play?
So it's about 30 minutes to 45 minutes you'll go through a game.
I watched Quacklobe's video. I watched Quacklobe's video on it, and he admitted that he's never won the game. How tough is this game, Matthew?
The game can be tough. It is winnable. We talk about an 80% loss rate. And there is a hard mode that's being instigated through the Kickstarter stretch goals as well. So make it a little bit harder. It doesn't make it like unwinnable, but it does make it a little bit trickier. And I think I found after the hundreds and hundreds of games I've played of Ratcatcher, I enjoy the hard mode because it gets rid of a few of my tactical advantages from experience.
Steve, you got something?
Yeah, talk to us about what's going on in the game. How are you acting as the Ratcatcher? Talk to us a little bit about the mechanics of how it'll play, because I think that's what's going to get people to be interested in sitting down and saying, "Oh, I can see myself as this character, but what am I doing with this character?"
Yeah, no problems at all. It's really good. You've got the character board up there. So the character board's your quintessential item that handles all the mechanics during the game. You've got attack dice that you'll use throughout the game to randomly see whether you can catch a rat or not. And as you collect magical cheese throughout the mission, you'll be able to allocate it onto the board and unlock new abilities, upgrade parts of your character. You'll also be able to place traps. This is a different tactical option than I think a lot of most adventure games give you. This allows you to spread yourself a little bit and attacking the hordes of rats, because the rats do outnumber you quite severely in the game. So you'll have to use your traps really cleverly and your abilities quite cleverly to keep on top of the horde.
I love the fact that you got these dual layered boards. Is that something that you've played in other games and you just loved, or something you really needed for this game, or is it a combination of both?
It's a little bit of a combination of both. I think, one, it's a nice quality thing, but two, with the Ratcatcher board in particular, there's a lot of tokens. And I've found even just playing the game, if you bump the board a little bit, it can just shift things out of place for you. So having that, especially in the movement track, that you'll notice it's a jagged path. It just makes sure the little token won't slide, because that's a really important statistic. And I've even found it's when you're playing, you can get a little bit into it and forget exactly where you're at economically. It's nice to have that locked into place so I know exactly where I'm at.
So 80% loss rate, and that's even with all of the practice that you see out there. How did you get the play testing done? Is that friends and family, big play testing group? What's the play test like in Australia?
Well, playtesting is very tier-based. It doesn't matter where you are. So, you start with internal testing. Thankfully, with a solo game, internal testing is really easy.
I'm going to play this game tonight. No, I don't feel it. No, you're going to play it tonight.
That's what I said. The amount of times I played the game, because you just sit there going, "Oh, I want to try this out. I don't have to wait for somebody. Right. Just let's do it. Run through a full game." Then close friends. I'm lucky to be part of a really good community of gamers here in Melbourne.
Yeah, Mick, it is right on Kickstarter right now for the next 7 days, right? Roughly?
Yep. Yeah, another 6 days, yeah.
So tell us about tell us about the Melbourne Play Group.
Melbourne Play Testers are really good. So we've got tiers. We've got local people that are really close within, 5-10 minutes. And then we can go in the CBD here, we've got our incubator group, which is all the Victorian playtesters and game designers all sort of get together there. So, sourcing from those guys and then start going nationally with heaps of playtesting through that. And, then even flinging it overseas. I've got 1 or 2 copies in the US. There's a copy in the UK, and there's a copy touring Europe at the moment as well. So,
how far are you from Tasmania? How far are you from Tasmania?
A fair bit of a swim.
Steve's got some friends in Tasmania that are big gamers. I don't know if you've heard of the Dice Man Comic, but
my dad's in Tasmania, actually.
Okay. Are you a fan of the Dice Man Comic podcast? No.
Yeah, they're great. Mark and I actually did an interview last PAX. So
very cool.
Okay. Steve was on the show last week, and I had Leon on the show a couple of weeks ago, just for a brief pop run. So that was actually they're really cool guys.
They're so much fun.
Hey, now, Matthew, you actually used to run an FLGS, is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for about 4 or 5 years. So that's where I usually came from, the retail side of the game industry.
Okay. That's where you started it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, or even just as a gamer, I was lucky enough to pick up a job in a game store when I was young, and the addiction kept going from there.
And were you the owner or were you the manager?
Yeah, I've worked my way up through the tiers, and eventually opened my own store.
What made you decide to go into the publishing side?
Well, life changed a lot. I left the store because I had twin girls, so that changes life a fair bit. They're now 10. You've seen them, I think, wandering back and forth through the back.
Yep.
The fun of being in isolation with everybody.
Yeah, Topher, this art, you got to understand, this art was done by Matthew himself, man.
Thomas said something similar earlier before, that the art was really engaging and was interesting for the game. I find it fascinating that you began with the art and the characters in your head and the game emerged. That's cool.
It's always a hard combination as an artist, which starts where, and hopefully I think they should influence each other a little bit as well. I don't like the disconnects. It's one of the big problems I have with a Euro game is I hate the disconnect between little cubes and I'm supposed to be doing what? There's not enough of a connect for me. I'm a sucker for theme.
The best Euros. No, but the best Euros always seem to have an explanation as to why you're doing things. The mechanics themselves fit the theme of the game. Not necessarily from an Ameritrash standpoint. I'm saying that when you think, I'm going to be doing this, it makes sense. When you increase your family in Agricola, it makes sense that you would have more actions, but you'd also have to feed more, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's where I think that's the most engaging Euro games, and I'm sure as a theme person, you're bringing that into games like the Ratcatcher, right?
Yeah, I think it's just the most important part of any game, no matter what category it comes from. It helps create that nice magic circle.
Yep.
Steve, you got something?
No, I was just checking in on chat. There's a lot of people talking about saying hello and wishing you luck with this and saying that they love the dual layered boards. Look at them.
It's the funniest things that people love.
Dual layered boards, that's the thing. That is definitely the thing.
That custom dice. Everyone wants custom dice.
All right, so
you were asking about the frosted dice before, though, weren't you?
Yeah, you got to tell me about this frosted dice. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here?
The easiest way to explain them is, have you seen the new version of Kings of Tokyo, the Dark Edition?
Yes. Yeah. Sure.
Yes, the dice. They're the frosted effect.
That's the
I love it.
Cool.
My 3D render doesn't do them justice.
Yeah, we needed something a little better. We'll have to check that out. So check out the frosted dice. You guys are getting close. Any little secrets any things that you really want to happen with this project?
Besides revealing this last Nemesis rat, because he's been a really big secret. He's only been play tested by a very small group, so hopefully the backers and I are going to fine tune him a bit more after we finish the campaign, because he's been super secret, and he not only adds a big badass rat that he is, he unveils a little bit of the story about where the magical cheese comes from. So,
are you foreseeing sequels to this?
Yes.
Are you foreseeing a world emerging here?
Oh, there's a whole world filled with magical cheese. It's disastrous and rat filled.
The more magical cheese out there, the better, right?
Yeah.
Right, Steve?
Absolutely.